Hey, Peace Elf here. A thorough response to this question would require a book or two to explain all the shortcomings of teacher training in the university and the flaws of traditional public education. So, this is a short overview. The fact that teachers' pay is the lowest scale of professional pay compared to other BA degrees is reason enough to detract potential quality student candidates from becoming educators. But that's only a small part of the problem, since I know a great many good teachers who will work for peanuts. Most of the problems with teacher quality occur at the teacher education programs and universities. Teachers' education programs are the most underfunded departments in the university. Indeed, a student in education's tuition is parceled out to other departments that are more costly to operate, like engineering and science departments. If education was a priority in the university or the state, teacher training programs would be funded proportionately. Second, the content of teacher education programs, that is, the state required courses to earn teacher certification, are antithetical to education theory and good practices. In other words, the state requires teacher training that goes against what education theory and best practice says is the best ways to teach children. Unless a new teacher goes against her training to find new and creative ways to teach, she will likely not be an effective educator. Another thing, mass education is difficult. Classrooms are packed with students of varying abilities and experiences. Nothing in teacher training prepares you to deal with a variety of learning styles, and even if it does, the individual attention each student needs is impossible to give in a classroom of 20 to 30 kids. Now, on the macro level, there are many problems that affect teachers in the classroom. The teaching profession, for one, is governed by non-teachers, politicians, in fact. People who know little or nothing about the work teachers do. Just because a politician spent 13 years in elementary and high school and maybe even 4 years in college does not mean you understand education and teachers. Local authority by school boards means flawed governance at the local level. At the state and federal level, a whole different set of politics affects education, especially standardized curriculum and tests, and the No Child Left Behind Act, which throws theory and best practices out the window in order to satisfy a political agenda that could be labeled nothing but dumbing down public education. No Child Left Behind is the bane of creative teaching and best practices. It so narrows the curriculum that it discourages teachers from venturing into educational territory that used to keep students engaged and curious. Now, instead of allowing students the freedom to explore their ideas and interests, No Child Left Behind says, learn this or else. Now, that may be acceptable practice in the suburbs, but not in the central city. Simply put, education is designed by the middle class for the success of the middle class and to economically benefit the wealthy class. The educational system benefits the rich by perpetuating class in the classroom. Children in poorer neighborhoods are taught to be working class people. Boring, repetitive rote memorization reading programs like direct instruction and the worksheet mentality of urban education all contribute to preparing poor children to remain poor. Teachers in poorer urban schools are bored because they, generally speaking, do not understand the culture they were hired to teach. Strict rules and enforcement are all most urban teachers are concerned about. However, the suburban counterparts are taught some critical thinking, not much, otherwise they may question authority. Middle class kids learn to think critically on demand so that their employers, the wealthy, can use their critical thinking skills to benefit themselves. I argue that the wealthy benefit from public education because all education is geared toward making students good workers. Poor kids end up as low-wage workers or in prison providing prison jobs for a depressed community. Middle-class kids become managers of the poor kids, continuing the lessons of the classroom by requiring the now working adults to do boring, repetitive, low-wage work. And the rich rake in the wealth that the workers earn for them. Teachers are just pawns in that game we call education to benefit the wealthy. This will only change when we train teachers to be educators in a democratic society, not a capitalist society. And when we teach young people to be enlightened citizens in a democratic society. Until then, the disproportionate distribution of wealth and resources will continue down the same track, and teachers will be educationally neutered in this system. Well, that's all for now. This is Peace Elf saying peace is only a mind away.